Hello guys, my name is Prince and this is Math Center. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Post your comments and questions on my social media handles and I'll respond to it. We are on the topic trigonometry. In the previous video, we learned how to use the trig ratios to find the length of the sides of a right-angled triangle. In this video, we are going to learn about the Pythagoras Theorem. What is the Pythagoras Theorem? The Pythagoras Theorem states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other sides. So what the Pythagoras Theorem states is that if you have a right-angled triangle like we have in this diagram here, A, B, C, the square of the hypotenuse, that is the square of the side AC, is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So the square of the side AC is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. So all that the Pythagoras theorem says is that if you have a right-angled triangle like we have in this diagram, the hypotenuse squared, we've learned how to identify the hypotenuse. We said it is the longest side or the side facing the right angle. So in this diagram, the hypotenuse is AC. The hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So here, AB squared plus BC squared. From this diagram, we know that the hypotenuse is represented by h. So h squared is equal to AB is represented by x, so x squared, plus BC is represented by y, so y squared. So h squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. So the Pythagoras theorem states that in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other sides. Let's use what you've learned here to solve some questions. The first question, find the value of x in the diagram below. So here, the length AB is 4 meters, the length BC is 3 meters, and we are looking for the length AC. Remember, AC is the hypotenuse because it's the side facing the right angle, or it is the longest side. We know from the Pythagoras theorem that for this diagram, AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared. We are looking for AC, and AC is x. So x squared is equal to AB is 4 meters, so 4 squared, plus BC is 3 meters, so 3 squared. You do this on your calculator, you are going to have x squared is equal to 16 plus 4. So x squared is equal to 25. You know from change of subject that when you get here, you take square root of both sides. So you take square root of the left-hand side and you take square root of the right-hand side. And x is giving us 5 meters. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we have been able to find x as 5 meters. Let's take another question. Find the value of x in this diagram. So this triangle is PQR. So from this triangle, we can see that QR is the hypotenuse. The other two sides are PQ and PR. From the Pythagoras theorem, we can say that QR, which is the hypotenuse, QR squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So QR squared is equal to PQ squared plus PR squared. So square the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So here QR squared is equal to PQ squared plus PR squared. QR is what we are looking for, and that is x. So x squared is equal to PQ is 15, so 15 squared plus PR is 12, so 12 squared. You do this on your calculator, you are going to have x squared is equal to 369. You take square root of both sides, and x is giving us 19.21 meters. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we have been able to find the length of QR, or x, the value of x, to be 19.21 meters. Let's take the next question. Find the value of y in the diagram below. This is a right-angled triangle. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, we know that the length of the hypotenuse is mn. So mn squared is equal to km squared plus kn squared. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So mn squared is equal to km squared plus kn squared. Remember that the hypotenuse is always the side facing the right angle. So here's the right angle. The side facing it is mn. So you square that side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other side. So km squared plus kn squared. Mn is 7 meters. We know that. So 7 squared is equal to km from the diagram is 4 centimeters. Sorry, mn is 7 centimeters, not 7 meters. So 7 centimeters squared plus 4 centimeters squared plus kn is y. So y squared. That is what we are looking for. So here we group like terms. 7 squared will give us 49, 4 squared will give us 16, so plus y squared. You group like terms, you get 49 minus 16 is equal to y squared. So we have 33 is equal to y squared. We take square roots of both sides, and y is equal to 5.74 centimeters. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we have been able to find the value of y to be 5.74 centimeters. Let's pick the last question. Find the value of n in the diagram below. So this is another right angled triangle, UWV or UVW. The hypotenuse is VW. So here the length of the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So the other two sides are UV and UW. So VW squared is equal to UV squared plus UW squared. From the diagram, VW is 13 centimeters. So 13 centimeters squared is equal to UV is n. So n squared plus UW is 11 centimeters. So 11 squared. 13 squared is 169. 11 squared is 121. You can do this on your calculator. You group like terms, you have 169 minus 121 is equal to n squared. This will give us 48 is equal to n squared. You take square root of both sides, and n is equal to 6.93 centimeters. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we have been able to find n to be 6.93 centimeters. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already. In the next video, we are going to apply what you've learned about the trig ratios and Pythagoras theorem to solve some questions. Bye-bye.